Good afternoon. Let's share this. When you see yourself being forced into marriage in a dream, this means that you are being married off spiritually. Or let's say you have been married off in the spirit realm, meaning that you have a spiritual spouse. It's either a spiritual husband or a spiritual wife. Such a spirit is very jealous. Spiritual husbands and spiritual wives are very, very jealous. You might find yourself being married in the physical, but once you have a spiritual spouse, that spiritual spouse will always be between you and your husband, or between you and your wife. Spiritual spouses are very, very jealous. They won't allow you to have a happy marriage here on earth. They will make sure that your marriage is hell on earth. Pray against such a spirit. And this is a very stubborn one. The spirit of spiritual husbands and wives. You have to engage in fasting and prayers. You have to fast and make sure that you fast until you see a sign on the ground. Because whenever these spiritual husbands are present in a person's life, you will see that there will be no affection between husband and wife. There is always problems in the house, quarreling and all those type of things. At times you see these spiritual spouses, they like to attack. Let's say your husband and you are the wife who has a spiritual husband. This spiritual husband will try to bring down the business of your husband, of your earthly husband. They will do everything possible to break this your earthly marriage. Spiritual husbands and spiritual wives are very, very jealous. If you are experiencing such a thing in life, in your marital home, in your marriage, chances are that you have a spiritual husband. And spiritual husbands, sometimes they attack even the manhood of your husband. There will be no affection. This is to show you how jealous the spiritual spouses are. Marriage is of God. And what God has put together, no man should put asunder. So when you are praying against these spiritual spouses, you should also stand on the word of God. Make use of the scriptures that talks about marriage and turn such scriptures into prayer points. God will fight for you. Marriage is something that was originally ordained by God. And since the devil doesn't want to see people in family setup, marriages are being attacked. They don't want our children to grow or to be born into marital homes. That's why many marriages today, they are being attacked. This is a plan of the enemy. You have to pray against it fast, because this is a very stubborn and wicked and very jealous, these spiritual spouses. When you are faced with such a situation, engage in prayers and fasting until you see that there is a sign on the ground, until you see that there is peace in your marriage. It's a direct spiritual attack on your marriage. When you see yourself being forced into marriage, it's an attack on your marriage, on your earthly marriage to say. Thank you so much for your time. Please let us engage in the comment section. See you on my next upload. Emmanuel.